warriors. Living and surviving are two different things. Today's special guest is Carline Beaubrun, creative director for Events by Carline and author of the book series Flying Solo. Please give a warm welcome to Carline.
Dear Life Warriors, it's me, Shar, your favorite corporate life coach. And today, all my guests are special. I know I keep saying that over and over again, but I do have a very special guest. Miss Carline is with me today, and she is the creative director for Events by Carline, as well as we're going to talk about her new book series that's coming out. It's called Flying Solo. I can't wait to get to the bottom of that because just to give you some of the topics, it's Be Beautiful, A Mother's Love, Passion to Profit, and Broken to Bless. Listen, we're all about learning from our wonderful, especially women of color in our lives, and we all know about being broken to bless. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you so much for having me. So excited to be here with you guys. Love the work that you're doing, Charles. So thank you.
No, thank you for giving me some time today. I know you're booked and busy, Miss Event Planner. I don't know how. Hats off to all event planners. I actually just planned my daughter's baby shower last year, December, and let me tell you,
yes, it is a labor of love.
Never again.
It is definitely a labor of love.
I know you have a lot going on. I know you have the book series. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that, actually? Because I love the title, Flying Solo.
Thank you.
And then you have a few titles that I love, but the one that's most interesting for me, that resonates with me, I think you're going to have something for everyone, is Broken to Bless.
Absolutely. So let's start from the beginning. I'm an event producer. I am a serial entrepreneur. So I own several businesses within the hospitality, beauty, entertainment, nonprofit sectors. And so I'm a busy bee. Yes. And a single mother of 3 children. I've been on this journey 13 years on my own, raising my 3 babies. They were 8 months, 5 years old and 3 years old at the time of, the divorce and everything happening. And now they're 17, 18 and 14. So it's been a long journey. Wow. And I'm happy to, have made it down, this path this far, and to be where I am today. So my whole prayer has been, God, get me out of this situation so that I can also help others, on their journey that has to go through this, that's on this path as well. So to me, it's always sharing your story that gets, is passing the baton on and helping someone else that is in the situation or going through something that makes your story and your experiences, that much more effective, right? So it's not just drowning in whatever it is, but finding purpose through your challenges. So COVID gave me the time. I've always wanted to put my story down on paper and write a book. One book turned into four books. Wow. And it became a 4-part series talking about motherhood. Broken to Bless, which you love, is
love that title.
Thank you.
Do we have to read it in sequence, or are you dropping them?
No, you can really, all the books interject within each other, like they all align in some way, shape, or form. So The way that it turned out, working out, is, so Broken to Bless is about my journey with the divorce, raising 3 kids, going through narcissistic abuse, domestic violence, how it all came about for me. It did not start in my marriage. It started, in earlier days in my life that I wasn't even aware of. So running from one crisis into another, which put me on the path of where I was, of being in a domestic violence situation. So I go through all of that relational trauma and just, finding yourself as a woman through those difficult challenges, how to identify them and how to evolve from such a long, lengthy process, because divorcing a narcissist in its own right is a very traumatic experience. And so it talks about how I survived all of that and gives the reader the knowledge and the foundation to know how they can also do it as well. Passion to Profit is coming from, goes into the blessed part of the Broken to Bless, because I was able to take my passion and turn it into a profitable income for me to raise my children on my own without doing the 9 to 5. I wanted to be there. It was very important for me to be there since I was the sole provider in the house. and not having any support from their father, it was very important for me to be able to raise them in a way where I had flexibility to be there for them. I never missed a basketball game, never missed a football game, never missed a gymnastic competition. I was there at every school, event, every parent teacher, and not having to work the 9 to 5 gave me the flexibility, but I had to hustle and hustle hard.
Yeah.
And so with every challenge that came into, making a profitable income, it was two-sided. My passion gave me the ability to look forward to something, to loving what I do, and to give me the drive and the motivation to keep doing it. And then turning it into a profit gave me the ability to take care of my family. So that book talks about all of that, my journey, to how I turned my passions, multiple passions, into profitable income and how I scale them. And then it also gives the reader the ability to know, I teach the reader step by step, give them invaluable resources that they can do it too. So if you're a single parent entrepreneur, if you're any entrepreneur really, but if you're a single parent, the word I can't be in your vocabulary. Right. You got to take that word out, because I feel like when there's a will, there's definitely a way. And if there's no way, you make one. It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. And in the other books, A Mother's Love talks about, raising my children, how, motherhood became such an important aspect of who I am and who I became, in trying to protect them through our journey. And it gives, valuable resources again, on how to raise your children and protect them through, abusive situations, abusive divorces, and things like that. And then the last book, Beautiful, is all about me and oneself, self-development. Every part of your life takes a different part and toll on you as a person.
Yes.
So yes, I'm a mother. Yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Yes, I'm a sister. Yes, I'm a aunt. I'm all these different roles, in one lifetime. But at the end of the day, the most important is who I am and who I found myself to be on my journey. And so the process of healing, the process of self-discovery, the process of allowing yourself to be vulnerable to yourself, and be able to look at yourself in the mirror and recognize who you are and be okay with that. And through my journey, it took me a minute for me to even realize that I wasn't even looking at the mirror at some point in time. I was avoiding the mirror altogether because I was afraid of who I was looking at. So once I was able to face that challenge and say, Carline, who are you? Who do you want to be? And then I found, I had to write down my journey piece by piece as to who I wanted to become, so that I can survive it all, And so that's what the book Beautiful is about. Just self-discovering and becoming who you are.
Whew, okay. You said a lot. It's like in such a short time that I wanted to go back though to you saying, I had to get out of this narcissistic relationship, which, how did you, first of all, recognize that that's what it was?
Char, let me tell you, I didn't even know until I was writing this book what I was dealing with all of these years ago. Yeah. So wow. I didn't even know anything about narcissism, period. I grew up with a narcissist as a parent. And so it became learned behavior. And yes, you don't know. And so for me, it was like, okay, maybe this person is bipolar. I'm trying to figure out like what it is that's wrong or what's going on, and self-diagnose basically, and just, trying to figure out and pinpoint what could possibly be wrong with this person. And so I always thought maybe it was bipolarism or something of, some sort of personality disorder, but narcissism is a personality disorder in itself.
What were some of the behaviors? Because I feel like I went through that. So that's why I'm asking. I'm like, right. You don't know what it is until you get out of it.
Right. You don't know. It starts off very slowly. It's very slowly condescending comments, little things that triggers gaslighting, for example, of just, putting you down for certain things. It becomes verbal abuse. It starts, for me, it was, verbal abuse at first. It started with verbal abuse and just, belittling, me as a person, and everything I did became wrong. Everything that they used to love about you, they don't love about you anymore. And narcissism is like you're a supply to them, right? So once they cut off that supply, or you don't want, they no longer see you or value you in the way that they originally did. Right. You no longer become, valuable to them. And so they're on to the next supply source. So at that point, nothing that you do or say is going to matter. It's not about, you, the person. And so it's very hard sometimes for you to, I learned through trial and error and understanding it better that it's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about how pretty I am or not pretty I am, or how smart I am or intelligent or how dumb. It doesn't matter. My educational level, it doesn't matter. It's not about me. It's about this individual and their lack of understanding for themselves or respect for others, and that they're going through something. And I have to remove myself from the situation to understand, because what I was doing was making excuses that this is going to get better, and it doesn't get better. It gets worse. And so with my situation, it wasn't just verbal abuse. It was emotional abuse. It was physical abuse. It became financial abuse. At some point when I, separated from him initially and cut off all connections. And so the only thing he had to hold over me was the children and finances. And so that's what he did. So he cut off financial supply. And so there was financial abuse, and the support to the kids, and always dragging us back and forth to court. So as long as they have something to hold on to, they will forever drag you through it as punishment once you reject them. So it becomes, a terrible mind game. It's exhausting. It's frustrating. It's overwhelming. And it takes a lot a lot of soul searching within yourself to be able to survive it if you cannot get away from from this particular person, especially if you're co-parenting with someone that is of that nature. It's, becomes very difficult.
Yeah. And so how did you heal? Like, what do you feel like you're completely healed? How did you?
No, I think there's a level of healing that you go through no matter what. These are things that's going to resonate with you, especially depending on how deep, or how long you've been in an abusive situation. For me, it was from childhood all the way into my adulthood. I grew up with one, running away from one, ended up marrying what I was running from. So, at some point, like, all of those years of trauma doesn't go away. You just have to learn how to manage. And even through therapy and, counseling and things like that, it's still something that will resonate with you. You're still going to have triggers. You're still going to, go through certain emotional crises that sometimes will trigger those things. Even though you thought you've healed, there's still things that you're still going to, that's still going to affect you no matter what. The healing starts with yourself, understanding that, again, it's not about you. You cannot take it personal. You have to start falling in love with yourself. You have to do things that, gives you an outlet from the situation. So, for example, for me, it was, at first it became the kids. Everything, became the kids for me. They became, my ability to get up in the morning and face what I was going through, because I had no choice. So I threw myself into motherhood, but I knew that wasn't going to last long, because they would grow up and one day they wouldn't need me as much as they need me now. So what I started doing slowly but surely is just understanding, like, okay, I'm a very reflective person, and I'm also an empath in the world of narcissism. So an empath, you're able to reflect, you're able to understand and have a different sense of direction when it comes to dealing with certain things. And so for me, I started to reflect on, first of all, this acknowledgement, right? And then acknowledging that there's an issue. An issue I cannot fix, an issue that is not about me, and then reflecting on what can I do to make this situation better. And once I start reflecting on what can I do to make me feel better, whether it's taking a dance class, whether it's, going out with the kids, whether it's scheduling, for me, it was events also, part with that was events. Events kept me going because it was something fun, always to look forward to. So with the kids, I always threw them big birthday parties every year. They're all born around the same month, summertime. So we have a big, huge event every year. And so, booking other events, for clients and things just gave me something to look forward to. So it was an outlet outside of my situation that I could always, something positive that I could look forward to. And that's really where the healing began. And for me to start understanding and believing in myself and what I was capable of doing. And, through years of trauma and always hearing that you're not good enough, you're never going to be anybody, or you're not going to do anything, or you're nothing without me, and being able to evolve into who I was, that to me was, what my end goal was. It's always having an end goal of who you want to be. What is that person that you want to be? And it has nothing to do with anybody else. It has to do with you. What is yours? And success could be different for anybody. Right. So for me, it could be, it could be owning a $1 million house. And that for me that for me is fulfillment, while someone else is just accomplishing small goals every day. So, you have to determine what that success level is for you, and every day work towards it little bit by little bit. For me, it was one thing at a time, giving myself a task one day at a time that I can, and accomplish. And once you feel accomplished with that one task, tomorrow you challenge yourself with 2. Once you get to 2, you go to 3, and then you start building from there. And it becomes so much easier, so much fulfilling. You feel encouraged and motivated, and it puts a smile on your face, and you get stronger. But you got to start with one step.
That's it. Baby steps, people. I talk about it all the time. It's like, it's when they say faith without works is dead. The truth is, at the end of the day, we could have faith. Absolutely. You get a vision, you put your strategy in place. You just have to start moving.
Yes.
Allow the resources to flow to you, to come to you. I talk about that all the time. Take one step at a time.
One step.
Feel good about the steps that you're taking.
Yes.
What people forget, that part. You have to be grateful about the accomplishment, about the steps that you've taken, and then more things will just start.
It really does. It really does. And one thing I will say too, which I talk about in my books, is the notebook pattern. Like, I have this thing for notebooks. Write it down. When you start to write things down, no matter what you write down, it manifests in ways that you would never believe. Yes. Put it on a notebook. Put it in a notebook. Maybe even on a Post-it, somewhere in your car, anywhere that you could see it, reflect on it, and push yourself to doing it and accomplishing it. It really, really, really does help.
Awesome. When are these available? Are they out yet? When is
the first one, which is Passion to Profit, will be out in April 1st. The book signing event is April 30th.
April 30th. Okay.
Yes. And that's going to be in Brooklyn. Yes. Brooklyn, New York. That is on my website. It's on the Flying Solo blog website as well. Yes. So
awesome. And you're going to roll them out one?
Yeah, so they'll come out one at a time. And if you sign up for the newsletter, once they're out, you'll get first dibs on that. If you sign up, if you sign up for the blog, the newsletter on the blog, you'll get all the insights. I have really great events coming up as well surrounding the books. For me, it's not just about writing the books. I don't care about how many books I sell. I care about reaching those who actually need the words that are in that book. Yeah. So for me, it's about creating these events that are going to support the books that are coming out, and just empowering women like ourselves to get through their different situations and see them through it and let us support each other, on our journey.
I will most definitely be supporting. I can't wait to get my copy and
thank you.
Because everything you're saying, even, that's why I said I knew the broken to blessed piece was definitely going to resonate, because I think everyone is the reason for the show as well. Dear Life Warriors is all about.
Yes.
It's all about people having a good understanding that life is going to happen.
Yes.
No matter what, with or without you, your life is going to happen. And if you could just always put a positive spin on the negative things that's occurring in your life and not let those things weigh you down or take over your soul, you will continue to walk the path and walk it with happiness and joy and peace, because that's all it is about these days, is having peace in your life.
Peace. You can't replace that. You cannot.
I do not allow anybody to disturb me.
Take your peace. That's it.
No,
that's right.
Not at all. So that's excited. Now tell me about the events.
So
all events, weddings, birthdays.
So I own an event production company. We're an international event production company. So we travel internationally. We do weddings, social events, corporate events, nonprofit events all over the world. I've been doing this since I was a little bit, 5 years old. It's always something. And that's sort of thing about Passion to Profit, the book, because you'll learn how, your gift. We all have a gift. We all have a talent, and we all have a purpose through those talents. And if you're not using it, to make it work for you, then don't complain as to why you can't do this, or why you're not there, or why you're not, where you want to be. You were given a gift, use it. So from the age of 5, I've always loved creating events. I remember, in my book, I'll talk about it. Like, I remember getting up on chairs and hanging up drapes and, creating landscape, tablescapes for my family for, either birthday parties or somebody's anniversary or whatever. And it just grew from there. And I always became the go-to person for events. And so it came from, family and friends to growing into my church family. And I think my wedding was the biggest event. And from then it was just on and popping because everyone wanted me to do their weddings.
Right.
So it became something that I didn't know was a business.
The bride
right. Yes. So I wasn't even charging at the time, I was just doing something that I love to do. And especially when going through, a terrible marriage, after the marriage happened, I was still helping brides, friends and family and those who would refer me, just for free, just because I wanted to do something. And after my wedding, I was so sad and I didn't realize that it's because the whole year and change that I planned, this wedding, now it's over. Now what? And so the excitement came to, when I started doing everybody else's wedding, I'm like, I like this. Yeah. And so I was just doing it just to do it. And then it's not until, the traumatic experiences of divorce took place and my finances were wiped out and I was left with 3 kids to take care of that I had to say, okay, what are you going to do now? And so it's like taking, something that I love to do was like the next best thing. So that's what I did. And I started an event production company.
That, everybody I've been talking to, they have used some type of life traumatic experience to create a business or to discover their passion. It's always amazing to me.
That is the power of transformation, which is why I call the books Flying Solo.
Flying Solo. I love that. Flying Solo. Because we all are. If you think about it, I don't know what you're saying in the book, but what I'm saying is you are flying solo because it's about self.
Yes. It starts with oneself. Absolutely.
So as much as, we have people around us, we have spouses, we have, at the end of the day, the person that you're spending the most time with is you. Your thoughts you can't get away from. Whatever you're thinking, what it goes to bed with you, you're going to wake up with it. So work on you, people. Work on yourself.
Yes.
Ooh, get to that place like Carline, where she loves herself.
I can look in the mirror now and look at myself and say, you go, girl.
You should be proud. Do you have a team of people because you're traveling internationally?
Yeah. So we have a team of 25.
Nice.
So it's and I not only do I do event production, I have my hand in many other things as well. So it helps to have a really wonderful team. And so, like I said, it's building from the ground up. And so, we're in a very wonderful place right now. 25 of us on the event production side. I also launched a business academy called Creative Brands Business Academy. So it teaches, everything that you need to know about, building your business, starting your business, how to create, launch, and scale your business pretty much. And all the resources that that's needed to do that. So I have a team for that as well. I also have a design team that handles we do digital media campaigns for small businesses. So we're content creators. And so we create digital content for all kinds of brands, for marketing material and rebranding. And so I have a team for that as well. What else? I also have a salon. I own a hair salon. I'm a co-owner of a hair salon. So I'm all over the places. I grew up doing hair. So that was another passion of mine that I could not let go. And so eventually I was able to branch into that area as well and create another profitable revenue stream for me and my children to have a good life.
Time for yourself.
I do. And that's the great thing about what you asked me about my team. I feel like, especially in our community, we don't handle our businesses in a way where we set them up with a foundation that's going to help us succeed and grow outside of just the business. Right. And what I mean by that is not taking the shortcut. Do it the right way, right? So that way you can exercise all of the flexibility and the resources that come, the excitement, the rewards that come with being an entrepreneur. So it's hiring the right team and putting in your time and effort to make sure you do that correctly, setting up your business correctly. What teams do you need to manage what? And so that way you can have free time to do the things that you want to do outside of just the business. We slave over our businesses sometimes. Yeah. And it's just because we don't allocate the right help. We don't delegate, the way we need to. And so again, Passion to Profit helps you figure out all of that, how to structure your organization, how to build out your team, how to build out your professional team. what resources you need. So it's definitely something that I'm very excited about, because I took a lot of time to put my knowledge and all my experiences in that book. So hopefully it'll help someone else who's on that journey.
Well, I'm definitely, I can't wait to get that one too.
Thank you. Thank you.
So many books. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
No, I'm serious. I'm proud. I love when I talk to entrepreneurs like yourself, especially women of color that are doing it and doing it on a big scale. And they've made it through their adversities. Like, all this is very impressive. And I'm really, really proud to now be in your circle. Anything you would like before you go? What's the one thing, if you had to leave the Life Warriors with a message, what would you like to leave them with?
You are not a survivor. You are a warrior. Ooh. And so that means that you put your fighting gear on. Life is going to come at you in every type of way. You're going to be happy one day, sad the next. You put your gear on and you fight your way through, because you are worth it. Yeah. You're here on this earth for a purpose. Your smile, your mind, your brilliance, even though you think you're not enough right now, you will get to a point where you know that no matter what comes your way, you're able to fight it. No matter what comes your way, you're going to be able to that challenge. You're going to take it over, and you're going to take it over beautifully. You will succeed if you believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. So don't say I'm a survivor, because survivors tomorrow, you could survive today and you don't survive tomorrow. A warrior, you keep fighting no matter what to the end of time. So you just keep that mindset and build it to be the person that you're meant to be.
Nice. And with that being said, my quote at the beginning of every show is living and surviving are two different things.
Yes.
So
yes, it is.
You're living and you're not just surviving.
Surviving. That's right.
And thank you so much for that gem.
Thank you.
There you have it, my Life Warriors. Another wonderful, wonderful show. I hope that you collect all these nuggets. I'm going to give all her information below this interview. Please connect with her. Make sure you hire her and book her for your events as well. She does fabulous work. And we are all going to run and pick up her book, Flying Solo, April 1st, as soon as the first one drops. Let's not forget that. But in the meantime, do know there is a coach out here that loves you.